What is up, guys? Give me 1 second. Oh, what up, Danny? I haven't seen you in a stream in a bit. Appreciate you joining. So, not sure if you guys can still see the... Oh, let me... There we go. Camera. So, not sure if you guys can still see the book or the text. I try to go for a more campy kind of feel, if that makes sense. This out of the way. Let me see if I can do better. That doesn't help. I'll just set it here off to the side. Most of the time when you're streaming, I'm either sleeping or at work. LOL. That's true. But appreciate you joining nonetheless. But yeah, again, please let me know if you can still see the text and the letters. I know it's kind of dark-ish. Again, I was trying to go for a more campy kind of feel. So that's the whole point of this. So let me know if this is an issue. If this isn't really as pleasing as the last one, please let me know. But I better get started with reading either way. So, okay. So, taking over from last time, let's recap real. Start to learn about Lena, the perspective of the 86 and the Alba. However, right now, currently in the story, Lena and her mother are having an argument on how Lena sees the 86, which she actually sees them as people, while every other Alba member, that basically Alba as in people that have silver, whitish hair, more or less, they are the only ones that are deemed as humans. Yeah, I can see it fine. You can? Okay. Let me know if the video can go to 1080p. I already fixed it to where it can, but let me know if you're able to or not. But so yeah, they had an argument over seeing 86 as people rather when Lena argues that they are no different than the Alba, while Lena's mother, who's basically an Alba to the core, sees the 86 as nothing more than animals, livestock. Basically how we treat certain like animals. Because you know there's some animals that we eat and there are some animals we choose to keep as, you know, considered living things. She saw 86 as no more as livestock, which is kind of messed up. I'll be honest with you. So now, if I remember correctly, we're still in the middle of the argument, and this was basically morning. So let's just continue reading. Lena wordlessly finished her breakfast, wiped her mouth with a napkin, and stood up. Yeah. I'm off, mother. Yeah, she was done with her mother's her mother's BS. You're changing my assigned squadron? Let's see. The golden wallpaper streaked with dark red stripes gave Division Commander's office a profound, dignified atmosphere. Lena blinked. Her silver eyes, her gaze fixed on the notice of personnel she'd received from the division commander seated behind the Feeding behind the antiquated desk. Commandure Carl Lichtal. I'm not sure if that's how you properly pronounce it. I did my best. Never heard of the 86 series before. It's an anime. The anime series has been out for like a while now. Not sure if they plan to return for another season, but the anime has been out for like quite a bit now. But if I remember correctly, the light novel is like vastly ahead. Let's see. Squadron reorganizations and by extensive changes of a handler's assigned squadron actually happen fairly often. As they participated in battle after battle, squadrons gradually took increased losses to the point where continued combat became impossible. As such squadrons were routinely integrated into one another, reorganized, abolished, and formed anew. Even transfers owing to the complete obliteration of a squadrons were common, albeit its circumstances Lena had neither experienced personally nor had any desire to. The Legion were simply that strong. Having developed them with full ferocity and technological superiority, the military Gyandian, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Again, I apologize for my lack of English, or my lack of pronunciation. Empire spared no expenses with outfitting the Legion with the most advanced weapons and allowing them the utmost mobility possible, as well as capacity for autonomous thoughts. So advanced, it was hard to believe it was a product of this age's technology. On top of that, since they were truly unmanned drones, the Legion never tired, never disobeyed orders, and never knew fear. And no matter how many were destroyed, fully automated production and repair. Sorry, I have to move my book a little higher. Barely see that. There we go. Fully automated factories lay scattered across the depths of their territories, rolling out new units like the black smoke spewing from their chimneys, yeah. Contrary to what the civilians believe, the Juggernaut was far inferior to the Legion in terms of performance, and the idea of getting out of a fight with the Legion with minor losses was unthinkable. Even the Republic did... Okay. Page. Let me move my mouse off to the side. It's like in the way. Inflict great damage to the Legion, they always returned in equal numbers, and the most the Republic could do was maintain a defense line. However, Squadron Lina was currently in charge of hadn't... Oh wait, hold up. Squadron Lina was currently in charge of hadn't suffered that many losses. Yeah, her teammates. The 86. Car Lashal... Again, not sure how to pronounce it. Scared Cheeks. Scar Cheeks. I'm sorry. Scar Cheeks. Blackened into a smile. His beard. Oh, that guy. His beard gave off a feeling of gentle dignity, and his frame was tall and broad-shouldered. Your squadron isn't getting recognized or integrated. The truth is another squadron's handler recently assigned, and we need to elect a replacement handler from another squadron as quickly as possible. Is it a defense unit for some important location? Which would mean it was a unit that couldn't remain on standby until a replacement handler was found. Indeed, it's Eastern Front's first ward's first defensive squadron, also known as the Spearhead Squadron. It's a unit that consists of Viridians from the Eastern Front. You could call it an elite unit. That made Lina beautiful features contort into a frown. The first ward was certainly an important location. It was an imperative defense position, where the Legion's advance was the forecast fear kiss. Is that how you say fear kiss? Fiercest. Golly. And the first defense squadron was a significant unit that was single-handedly responsible for the first ward's defense. The duties placed on it, such as night patrol and serving as a support, were currently different compared to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th squadron, which served as a backup in case 1st wasn't able to sortie. I think this is too much responsibility placed on a novice like me. Sir. Cash stall. Again, I'm not sure how to properly pronounce that. Smiled wearily. Is that something a talented, inspiring officer who was the youngest and first to be the promoted SO major out of 91 a newlyman should say? Alumni? Well, sounds like Illuminati or some shit. Again, sorry guys. Again, if I pronounce something wrong, you're free to correct me. You're free to correct me on if I mispronounce anything. Feel free to. Otherwise, I say what I can. Being too modest can buy you others. Eerie, Lina. I'm sorry, Uncle Jiromi. That was her uncle, right? I forgot about that. Arlashtal referred to Lina by her first name. She responded by lowering her head in a manner unlike that of a subordinate. Arlashtal had been best friends with Lina's late father, who had fought alongside him 9 years ago in part of the now demolished Republic Armed Forces. The two were among its sole survivors. He would come to visit often. Okay. This. There we go. Often, Lina was small and played with her, and after her father's passing, he helped arrange the funeral as well as support Lina and her family in various of ways. Yeah, more like he was probably seeing the wife too. How much you want to bet? I'll be frank with you. No, you cannot be frank with me. I hate that statement. If you know me, you understand why I say this. We don't have any other candidates for Spearhead Squadron's handler. Didn't you say they were an elite unit? I would think being put in charge of that would be a greater honor for any Republic officer. Not all handlers took their job seriously. However, some would watch television or play video games in the command room or leave it unattended altogether. Others would give their processors terrible orders or not provide them information at all and watch as they died as if it were just some movie. Others would place bets with their colleagues on whose squadron would get wiped out first. Lennon knew that. Of course. If anything, those who took their job seriously were the stark minority. But this was besides the point. Well, it is an elite unit, but Kashtal seemed hesitant for a second. It's the Spearhead Squadron's captain unit. Personal name, Undertaker. Yeah, that's Shin. That's Shin. That's Shin's character. He was something of, shall we say, a history? Undertaker, what an odd name. Funny thing, because I could have sworn in certain Japanese series like anime or whatever, manga, there's plenty of characters I've seen with the name Undertaker. There's plenty of characters I've seen with that name before. So it makes me wonder, like, does it hold some kind of significant meaning? Because the only thing I know in regards to Undertaker is literally the wrestler. I'm not sure if you guys ever were into WWE back in the day. I used to be a little bit. I used to play the games a lot. I'll be honest with you. The handler who know him seem to call him the Reaper and are all frightened of him. It seems he has a tendency to break his handlers. Huh? What do you mean break his handlers? Lena replied in surprise. Despite herself, wait. If it had been the other way around, that wouldn't have been an odd, but a processor breaking a handler? How? Right. You would think that you would think it would be the opposite, considering how much these commanders, processors or whatever, the way they handle the 86, you would think they would break the 86 more, considering the 86 are in the front line. These processors are just giving orders or ain't doing shit. They're just sitting there, letting them do willy-nilly, not caring whether they'll survive, whether they'll do a good job. They're just there, attended, and just either take it seriously, watch, not care, or honestly, they're apparently, from what I'm being told, there's some that don't even show up, period. That's kind of fucked up. No one really cares what happens to the 86, and like I stated before, you don't care, but they're the ones protecting you. So I don't understand. Like, you would think people that protect you would be appreciated more. Like here in the States, I'm not sure how it works for other countries, but here in the US, if someone goes out to war, they fight for their country, they defend their country, they come back, they're seen as a war hero. They're appreciated, they're admired, they're, oops, sorry about that. They are, you know, they are heavily liked, and and people most of the times, or if anything, all of the time, hold just great admiration for them. So it's very weird to me that in this scenario, it is the opposite. They're not appreciated, they're not admired, they're not even pitied. No one cares about them. Flat out, no one gives a flying bejesus for these people at all. They're just seen as nothing more than, well, disposable. Are you sure this isn't some kind of a ghost story, sir? You would think it would, right? Considering he's referred to the Reaper by the processors. I guarantee you, I haven't had the luxury to call my subordinates over to discuss gossip, my dear. It's a fact that that's an unusually high sorry, I can barely see that. Gotta move. Oh, okay, there we go. An unusually high number of handlers who were in charge of Undertaker's squadron have put in requests to change their assignments or request to resign from their service altogether. Some have requested transfers immediately after their first sortie, and while we're unsure as to whether it's related, some committed suicide after reassigning. What the hell? Suicide? Yo, you telling me these people are committing suicide after having, like, after being giving orders or whatnot? Hello. The screen is a little dark, isn't it? Is it? I was trying to get like a more I was trying to get more like a campfire-ish kind of feel. But if it's a bit too dark, give me a second. Here you go. Wait, hold up, hold up. Again, I'm just trying to change the tone. Give me 1 second. If it's a bit too dark, I apologize. Again, it was intentional. How's this? Again, I apologize. Is this better? Damn, I forgot where I was now. Oh wait, I think I was like at the very bottom. I think. I get what you're going for, but have to focus more to be able to actually read it now. Again, how about now? Is this better? Can you see a lot? That seems fine. Again, can you guys still read it fine without it being too, you know, you really have to focus too much? Again, if you guys prefer how it was last time in the next stream, I'll just do it from now on. Again, I'm just trying to go for a campish feel. That's the whole point of it. Just so you know, to give some variety. Because later on in the future, I'm going to have like campish feels, summer feels, winter feels, night feels, morning feels, stuff like that. I'm going for different scenarios. That way it doesn't feel too vanilla. You know what I mean? But let me know if you can read just fine now. Like you can read it, you can see it. You don't have to try so hard to read or to look at the text. Let me know if it's just fine now. If it still becomes an issue, please do not hesitate to let me know. I can turn it back the way how it was before. Okay? Again, I don't mind criticism as long as it's not douchebaggy. Okay, anyway, yeah, I was a lot lower. Oh no, I finished this. Oh yeah, I finished this. But anyway, I think it's personally, I think it's kind of funny. I'm not saying suicide is funny, by the way. I'm not trying to undermine suicide. Suicide is a very serious topic. It is a very serious topic. Yeah, I can read it better now. Not as easily as last stream, but still can. Again, I will say this. If it was a lot better before, I don't mind changing it back. Again, this is just for today. Tomorrow I'll have like a different setting. Anyway, let's see. Oh, anyway, before I get into it, I do want to comment. I do think it is absolutely fucking hilarious. Again, not saying suicide is hilarious. Suicide is a very serious thing. But these people are committing suicide because they had Undertaker, or who they refer to as the Reaper, reassign, and after reassign they committed suicide. But I'm like, why? I mean, unless Sheen is like a really messed up mother trucker who he's probably feeding them some really nasty thoughts in their head. Or maybe they just feel like, how can I say this? Maybe like it made them reflect as their duties as processors, considering maybe like Shin does majority of the work for them. If that's the case, then, well, that's your fault. You should do better. Sorry, just getting like a quick cup of water real quick. Yeah, my hands are wet. I ain't touching give me one. I ain't touching my book with wet hands. I'm just saying. I'm not doing it. I want these books to be as good condition, as best condition as I can. But yeah, talking about that further. Like, you would like, what does it take for someone to commit suicide? I would think it's the opposite. Considering Shin's situation and everyone at 86, you would think that it would be the 86 that would want to commit suicide, considering the circumstances they were forced to be in, that they would have to suffer through. You would think they would want to commit suicide because, look, I don't have any human rights. I'm treated as something less of a human being. I think looking at someone as livestock is like less than a human being, less than a pet. Is that even less than a slave? That's what I'm thinking. Then again, they're probably considered slaves too. So it's really messed up how that works. Like, it's really messed up how that works, but like, let's see. Suicide isn't funny. Stereotypical Alba suffering is hilarious. Damn. Hey, you ain't wrong for that. Anyway, it's rather hard to believe, but they claim they could hear the ghost's voice and were haunted by them even after retiring from service. What? What? Now you're just being stupid. It didn't sound like anything but a ghost story after all. Yeah, it's probably their own fucking paranoia. Unless Shin actually has the power to haunt people. That'd be kind of crazy. It didn't sound like anything but a ghost story after all. Karistal, however you pronounce that name, cocked his head, anxiously trying to disconcern what Lena was thinking. If you're against the idea, feel free to refuse, Lena. You can stay in command of your current squadron. As I've said, Spearhead is a gathering of veterans. From what I hear, resonating with them during sorties isn't advised, so we could very well have command to those on the field and provide minimal monitoring. Lena pursed her lips tensely. I'll do it. I'll put all my efforts into serving as the Spearhead Squadron's commanding officer. Protecting the motherland was a Republic citizen's duty and pride. Being put in charge of a unit that stood as the vanguard of war effort was all that she could ask for, and letting this opportunity pass by was unacceptable. Karistal smiled at her fondly. Really? This girl is simply too much. You could do the absolute minimum. There's no need to do anything unnecessary. And also, refrain from interacting with the processors too. Too much. Karlstall? Alright, thank you. That's how you pronounce it? Thank you. Knowing one's subordinates is part of commanding officer's duty. So long as they don't reject me, I will make every effort to interact with them. Good grief. Karstall assigned with a gentle smile. He opened the desk drawer and retrieved a bundle of documents. Moving my book slightly higher. There we go. And while we're on the subject of fault finding, I got something else to say. For heaven's sake, stop recording number of casualties in your report. There are officially no people on the battlefield, so we can't accept documents regarding data that doesn't exist. Even if you try to protest like this, there's no one who will take this matter to heart anymore. But that as it may, I cannot simply ignore this. There is no basis for confining the Colorado anymore. The Emperor of Gind took the continent by storm with their army. Their army of... Oh, next page. Oops, sorry. God damn. Hold on. Down. With their army of legion, but for some reason it seemed to have fallen into ruin for 4 years. 4 years ago. The Empire transmissions, the Republic was able to intercept in between waves of Yantag's Fleege Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Jamming suddenly ceased, and they had been unable to intercept them since. It was uncertain why the Empire fell. Did the Legion turn against them, or was there some other reason? Whatever the case, one fact was abundantly clear: the Empire had certainly fallen. The 86 were assigned to being progeny of the Empire. Not sure that's it. But now the Empire was gone. There was no justification for their continued interment. However, having tested... Oh. That's a tested? Oh, now I'm having a hard time looking at it. Tested the perks of their blatant discrimination. The Republic's civilians were loath to change their ways. Trampling others granted them the illusion of superiority, and having a group to oppress made them fed like they were the victors. Having been trapped, humiliated, and thrust into a state of emergency by the Empire and its superior weaponry, this was merely a form of escapism that allowed them to delude themselves rather than confront the issues. Being tolerant of such wrongs is tantamount to supporting them. Doing this isn't something that should be allowed in the Lena. That gentle invocation made Lena hold her tongue. Your pursuit of ideals is a bit too spirited. Regardless of whether the ideals are your own or someone else's, ideals are precious precisely because they are unreachable. But Arstal silver eyes wavered with bittersweet nostalgia. You really do take after Baklav? Not sure if that's how you say it. Now then, Major Vladilena Maliz, I hereby appoint you to the role of commanding officer for the Eastern Front's 1st Ward's 1st Defense Squadron. Effective today, I expect you to do your finest. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Ooh. We got a nice little we got a nice little illustration here. Holy shit. I probably shouldn't have seen this first. I probably should have read this, then see this. But you can't blame me for noticing this beautiful piece of art. I will say this. Because there's like less drawings, less visuals in light novels, it really does make you appreciate the illustrations when they do come up. Like when they do come up, you tend to appreciate them more due to the fact that there's less of it. Had it been pointed out to me that Lena embodies all 5 ideals the colors of the Alba flag are supposed to represent. That's true. She seems like she takes great honor and great responsibility in what not only the flag represents, but of what their entire country is trying to show, even though honestly a lot of what they're trying to represent is a bunch of horse shit. None of it is true. Well, none of them has been put into real practice other than Lena. Lena is the only one that's actually practicing what her country is abiding by, or at least what their country is making a name for itself. Now, the one thing I like to know, this is Alba, and this country is falling, clearly. They've already lost many sanctions of their country. The only reason why they're still around is because the 86 are still fighting, but shortage of food, shortage of land, and the only thing they're doing is literally living off of what they have, oblivious to the dangers that's approaching them. Now, I'm not sure if they truly believe they're safe, or if they're trying to turn a blind eye and just living out their lives in peace. Because let's be honest, these people in Alba currently, they are soft. They are extremely soft-hearted. They would not last out in the battlefield. 2 minutes out there, and I'm guaranteeing at least half, or maybe even more than half, of the Alba citizens would just be wiped out. Especially to the legions. The legions are considered like some kind of... They're not another country, right? They're just like basically monsters or freaks of nature. I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't exactly know what the legions are entirely. Well, there are some moments where I think they're freaks of nature, and then there's others where I think like, are they just in another country with a more advanced weaponry? That's what I'm thinking. Data for her para-raid. Annette was the officer in charge of the para-raid development team, so all requests regarding adjusting Lena's sensory renaissance setting were handled by her. She also suggested they may as well have Lena come in for a medical inspection while they were at it. And Lena was in the middle of changing back into her uniform when Annette chastised her. After putting the patient gown neatly as a coat hanger, Lena replied to Annette from the other side of the medical room's reinforced glass window, while still buttoning her blouse. The medical ward's building had once been Royal Vala during the monarchy age, so its exterior was that of a chai. Also, just a random thought. If Shiro was a girl, would he be Lena? If Shiro was a girl, would he be Lena? Kinda, yeah. Yeah, low-key, just a little bit, yeah. I'm pretty sure, because she kind of has... Well, here's the thing, though. Lena is trying to do good, or at least trying to... What's the word I'm looking for? Lena cares about equal human rights within her given country. So, for the 86... Whoops. For the 86... For Alba, she wanted complete human rights toward all within her country, regardless of your hair color. That tells me she holds great pride in her country and what it represented, but she doesn't like the current state of the country and how it's treating its fellow humans, or its fellow civilians. Now, Shiro wanted to be quote unquote, again, you guys are free to correct me if you want. Shiro dreamt of being a hero. A hero is someone that does good by all. It doesn't matter if you're an animal. It doesn't matter if you're, well, I'm not sure about Lysa. It doesn't matter if you're human. It doesn't matter if you're good. Of course, you do your best to vanquish evil, but you know what a hero represents. Is doing right by other people, regardless of race, nationality, ethnicity, country, or whatever. He wanted to be a hero for all. Lena wants to have equal rights. Shiro is more universal. Lena's is more specific toward her country and one topic specifically. And I guess all of Shiro's survival guilt went to Shin. That's one way to look at it. Yeah, because if we remember, Shiro's guilt at the end of the day was of how he lived his life and how he carried his life. Shin, I guess you could say, is the representation of that. If we wanna have some comparisons to Fate. True. But I will say this though. I still don't know what makes Shin tick. He's a very interesting character. If I remember correctly, Lena and Shin had very interesting polar contrasts. Let's see. A chick, classy, Middle Ages estate, but the inside had a certain tasteless, futuristic sort of design, defined by mural and glass panes, pans that gave off a robotic, inorganic feeling. One of the glass screens had a video of tropical fish and coral reefs projected onto it. I mean, it's just a ghost story, and an excuse soldiers cook up to skip work. It's one thing if it's an excuse. It's another if they're actually committing suicide, though, girl. These people are committing suicide. Again, I take suicide seriously, but I'm not sure how much I care considering how these assholes treat 86. Fastening both her stockings with her garters, Lena felt her lips loosen with a smile. She did her periodic para-raid medical inspections regularly, so there was no need for Annette to worry. But she was a busybody after all. The past about some of them committing suicide is true, though. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, the suicide thing still is not like something that should be excused. But it's not like I really care too much about these albas. Sitting on the other side of the glass wall, Annette casually added this tidbit while inputting the new settings into Lena's RAID device. Sipping coffee, or rather some muddy substance that was probably supposed to resemble coffee, from her mug. I don't buy the whole ghost thing. The old guys probably made that up so they'd have something to gossip about. But it's true. One blew his head over. What? One blew his own head off with a shotgun. God damn! Having put the skirt, what the fuck? Having put on her skirt and jacket, Lena turned around, straightening her collar, brushed back the silver hair that spilled over her shoulder when she bent forward. What the hell, bro? What the hell? Jesus Christ! The moments their dads died. Oh, hold up. Well, beyond just the surface stuff, both Shiro and Lena inherited the high-sided ideals of their fathers and devoted their lives to it. Oh, if we're going by that statement, then yeah, that's true. Well, at least I think it is. I know about Shiro's, but I'm not too sure about Lena. Again, I don't remember too much from the anime. It's been a bit, and I didn't watch everything. But if that's how, but again, once again, let's try not to talk about anything until well, then again, I guess it was mentioned with Carl Stahl that she was a lot like her father in that she inherited like the freedom to all. And if that really was a trait that was her father, and if she soul-heartedly inherit that trait of her father, then yeah, in a way, yeah, she's basically like Shiro. Yeah, she is. They both inherited their father's will, and they accept it proudly. Because you know, there are some characters in certain series that inherit their family's lineage. Some just downright don't want to. Others just refuse it altogether. Shiro and Lena are a good example of children who greatly idolize their parent. I notice it's usually a father, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. When it comes to children inheriting something, it's always the father. It's always the father. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't sometimes have exceptions to the rule, to where like there's mothers that certain characters ideal from, but typically it's the father. Again, simply because I look at it this way. Fathers and mothers both have two roles. Fathers are kind of seen as like the role models where sons, daughters usually model themselves after. They have a strong imprinting on the child, regardless of genders. The mother is typically seen as that one side of vulnerability that person can be. Like a son is okay to feel vulnerable or to feel like soft, I guess you could say, around their mothers. Same with daughters. This is a way of showing the two roles perfectly. Again, in this case, the father figure was very much imprinted on Lena as well as Shiro because of how much they were important in their life. That's how I see it, though. That's how I see it. But again, can we just appreciate this art? Holy shit, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. 86, like this light novel. Did the original author drew this? Cause, god damn, bro, this is like some really good art. Again, when you don't read manga and you're reading light novels, but light novels add some illustration, they really do stand out. Like, you can really appreciate them. Okay, next page. And again, if anyone's having trouble looking at the text, I do apologize. I'll do a better job at being able to, you know, I'll do a better job of making sure it's more visible next time. Again, I was just going for this type of style. Not sure if people like it or people dislike it, but please let me know. But again, I don't mind going through how it was before. Aneta shrugged casually. Who knows? What do you mean, who knows? What kind of details am I supposed to gather when the subject's dead? No abnormalities were detected in the RAID devices, and that's it. I did tell them that if they want me to look any deeper, they should bring over the processor, Undertaker, I think he's called, but the boneheads over at transport starting spouting dumb stuff like, we don't have room for pigs on our flights. Again, that's messed up. Annette crossed her arms while leaning against the chair's backrest and snorted indignantly. This attitude always spoiled her boyish good looks. If they'd brought him over, I'd have been able to pick apart his brains and investigate. Damn it. Lena frowned at the ominous remark. Annette wasn't serious, of course, but it was still rather dark. How did you hear about the processor? Heard about him from the MPs. They let me have a look at the report, but it really was just a bunch of official data. They asked me if anything came to mind, and that was it. No idea if he actually had anything to do with it. Having said this, Annette smirked wearily. Apparently, when they told him his handler died, all he said was, "Is that so?" Like he had no idea what they wanted him to make of it. Guess it makes sense for 86 to feel that way. Though if you tell them their commanding officer died, they won't really care. Of course they won't. Why would they care when Alba doesn't really care about them? I'm just saying. You expect them to give a shit? When she saw Lena's silent expression, the smile disappeared from Annette's face. Lena, you should transfer over to the lab after all. Question. Annette watched Lena's baffled expression with lustrous feline eyes. She's making a cat expression. The way things are now, the military is nothing more than unemployment relief. Everywhere but the lab is full of idiots. From the higher sectors who couldn't hold a job. Okay. On. Go. To the Republic's current administrative center was the first sector, and it was at the heart of it. The other sectors spread out from the four sides in a rectangular fashion. Designed numerous by order of closeness. The higher a sector's number, the worse its residential environment. Republic's safety and standards of education became, and the higher its employment rate grew. What are you going to do if 2 years once the Legion aren't an issue anymore? Having former military personnel on resume isn't gonna turn any heads during peacetime. That's true. Like, hypothetically speaking, let's just say, let's just hypothetically say the Legions are gone. They're no longer an issue. They're taken care of. What are these bastards gonna do once that happens? Because again, they're not doing a good job. They're not doing their jobs at all. I was about to say they're not doing good at their jobs. They're not doing their jobs at all. They're literally just sitting back, allowing everything to happen, not giving a shit about others, not giving a shit about what comes out of it. All I can say is they really should consider like other fields of work. Because this, unless there's some kind of job relief or whatnot. Griffin. Oh, hi Griffin. Appreciate you joining. I gotta go, but enjoy the reading. Oh, thank you, Danny. Appreciate you stopping by nonetheless. Either way, it's like, it's not good to simply not do your job. Because what are you gonna do? Again, like it really brings up the question. What are you going to do as soon as all these times of war is over? Ain't no one giving you a free charity, bro. You didn't do your fucking job. If you want to call it that. You're just giving orders. So, that's a good point there. Her friend Annette is bringing up a good point. Unless, like, over the course of her becoming a commander. Because Lena is doing her job, let's be honest. She actually is doing her job. So, either way, I feel like maybe they can put in some good recommendations for her, considering she's someone out of most albas that actually work and care for the 86. Again, not saying caring even matters to these people. Again, they probably don't care either way. Lena smiled. In 2 years' time, all Legion units would shut down. That was a fact of the Republic disconcerned by inspecting several Legion units they'd seized. The Legion's central processors had a fixed lifespan. Oh! Program into them. 50,000 hours of operation time per version. In other words, just shy of 6 years. The Empire likely added this design element as a failsafe to ensure the Legion wouldn't go berserk and turn on them. So the Legion are kind of living things. And since the Empire was presumably destroyed 4 years ago, all of the Legion's central processors should break down and cease operation. In 2 years' time, and indeed the number of Legions they had detected on the battlefield had gradually decreasing over the years. Units that hadn't received the latest updates had begun shutting down. Okay, so so there is a plan, I guess you could say. They come with the failsafe. In 6 years' time, they should all be shut down, and then the Legion's problem is over. I guess that's why they're being so lackluster about their job, because that's what's put into account. But at the same time, you want to reinforce that. You want to make sure you're even alive within those years span, because the Legion probably already know this, and they're probably developing some kind of counter mechanism to be able to last longer, or to take them out as soon as possible. So either way, you should still be prepared. Like, this is what I say. This is my personal saying. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Like, you can hope for all the good things to ever happen in the world for yourself, or for, in this case, Alba country. But you should expect, or is it hope for the best and prepare for the worst? I forgot what it was. Your notification in Discord doesn't say that you're live. It looks like a regular video upload. Really? It doesn't show that. Oh, wow. Okay, my bad, Griffin. If that's the case, what I'm gonna do is, in the thumbnail, I'm gonna make sure it says live from now on. But I will say this, from now on, whenever I do, these type of, reactions, or I guess you could say read-alongs, consider them always live. Thanks for the offer, but right now we're at war. Yeah, but this doesn't have to be your job. I get it. Annette wasn't willing to back down, completing the input job. She flickered the hollow screen aside, bent forward, and began venting her frustrations in an agitating, bitter voice. Whatever the truth is, that's one messed up processor we're talking about here. Who knows what to expect from him? And besides, there's no telling if the para-raid is actually safe. Lena's eyes widened. Wasn't it proven that the para-raid is perfectly safe? Oh shit, hold up. I gotta move my book up. There we go. Annette had apparently just let slip something she shouldn't have. Oh shit! She lowered her voice, continuing to speak with guilty expression that made it clear she'd just gotten herself in trouble. Oh wow. So did Annette just basically give out that the para-raid is something that's linked and not just one-sided? What exactly is the para-raid? It looks like there's more to this device than simply being a two-way communication hub or something. That's then again, I don't know about the idea of someone eavesdropping into my subconscious. That sounds really messed up. Well, I wouldn't say messed up. It's just you don't like the idea of someone like snooping into your head, or someone knowing your exact thoughts at the moment, or hearing you on the other side, vice versa. Well, hearing you on the other side, I feel like is important, considering you're the handler or processor, however you say it. I get confused. Okay. I mean, don't you know how this country works, Lena? Even if they say that's how it is publicly, it doesn't mean it's actually true. Yeah, she's definitely right about that. Never believe everything someone says regarding, like, you know, this is how a device functions, this is how it operates. There could be like a fine blueprint there, assuming there is a blueprint. What's up? Oh, what a blazing flame. Appreciate you joining by. The Republic pride itself on being a superior race, on the country's technology being infallible. Infallible? Fallible? That's a weird word if I ever heard one. Even if there were any flaws, they could never be made public. They held true for the para-raid, and just as true for the Juggernaut. What else are these fuckers hiding? It's like, it makes you wonder, like, if anything should be taken to heart. They actually discovered this technology by inspecting people with, well, extrasensory perception. That's how they figured what part of the brain stimulate, which is what this thing does. She poked the para-raid device in her hand. A blue crystal and a delicate silver frame. The crystal was constantly connected by several wires to an information terminal, as the information inside was being overwritten. Those espers could resonate with other family members. So handler and processor's device carry genetic information that identifies the user as relatives on the second degree. We still don't know how the resonance actually works. But wasn't this your father's research? It was a collaborative research fundamental theory hypothesis were all the work of other researchers. Dad was just in charge of preparing the lab conditions and replicating the phenomenon with the recruited test subjects. So her dad was just a provider. He wasn't really the inventor. So you just asked the other researcher? Oh wait, no. So you just need to ask the other researcher. A cold smile played over Annette's face. You can't. The other researcher was an 80... Oh my god. No wonder this... Yo! 86 really be doing all the work, man. They made the para-raid. They did all the work. This is starting to remind me of Persona 5 Royal with Madarame. I'm not gonna lie to you. Names recorded when they were taken into custody. They each received a number of their sole identifiers. At this point, there was no way even knowing which internment camp they'd be sent to. Bruh, even the para-raid was invented by an 86. I'm done. These fuckers. These mother effers. They're now taking credit for... Oh shit. They're now taking credit for for things that wasn't even theirs to begin with. The para-raid device was a safety lock on it now. But if anyone was to try to resonate with several people's sense of vision, their brain would fry itself from the informational overload. And if you stay resonant for too long, maximum synchronization rate, it's I was about to say, is that my shadow being casted? Synchronization rate is possible for your sorry. Maximum synchronization rate. It's possible for your ego to completely collapse. You stayed too stimulated to be able to come back. You know about my dad's accident, right? What accident? Did he get too stimulated? Annette's father, Professor Joseph. Is that how you say it? Joseph? Joseph von Penrose was involved in an accident during an experiment that drove him mad and ultimately killed him. It happened shortly after the completion of the sensory renaissance. Theory and the raid device. The para-raid device synchronization rate was accidentally set to the theoretical maximum. Some believed he connected to somewhere that laid beyond the human collective unconscious. If mankind as a whole was an individual, that place was the collective. What was presumed to be the collective unconscious of that world itself? So like I said, there's no telling what might happen if you use the para-raid too much. I don't give a rat's ass what happens to a bunch of 86, but if anything happened to you, I don't know what I'd do. Why is your room dark? Is it really that dark? Again, I purposely made it dark to have a campfire feel. Whoops. I even have, again, candle lights. I'm gonna have candle lights. Again, I apologize, since it even says it in the title. Campfire feel. So I was hoping to make this kind of campy-ish, you could say, but I wasn't aware that it was messing with like how people read it. If it really does become a problem, I promise this is the last time I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna stick to having lights on it. Like I'm gonna stick to having like just like all lit up if it really becomes a problem. Because again, the reason why it's so dark is supposed to feel like a campfire. It's supposed to feel like I'm reading in front of a campfire out in the dark. That's what it's supposed to have a personal feel to. Again, not sure if you guys like it. Not sure if it's something you would enjoy more or less. Next stream, however, which is going to be tomorrow for light novel reading. After I finish this page, though, that's going to be it for tonight. Because again, as I said, only an hour read a day. The next stream, I am going to have more of a ASMR kind of thing. The text is clear. Oh, okay, so you can see the text no problem. Again, I just want to make sure people can see it and it's not too dark to see. The next one I'm thinking about having against ASMR kind of feel. I'm not sure how well that'll do. I'm not sure how they'll do. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not usually one for those kind of things, nor do I care for those kind of things, but hey, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna see what does well, whether it's normal reading or an ASMR kind of thing. Just don't expect something like high professional, okay? Because again, I don't really do ASMRs. I don't know about them. I just know what they are and more or less how people do them. Lena Griminance grumpily despite herself. She realized Annette was genuinely concerned for her, but still. But that's just cowardice. That or stupid or reckless. Don't overexert the para-raid, because if you do that, you're gonna end up like her father. Annette waved her hand as if to say she'd grown tired of the conversation. Yeah, I swear, you're a weirdo. An awkward silence filled both sides of the room, barred by the glass wall, as well as if to dispel that. Annette smiled mischievously. While we're on the topic of things that make you act weird, Lena, you up for some chiffon cake? It's my latest work. Made them from real eggs. Huh? Real eggs? What have you been eating the whole time then? Annette had to stop herself from laughing out loud as Lena looked up at her. An imaginary pair of cat ears perking up in attention. Lena was as much of a girl as any other young lady her age. After all, sweet things captured her attention in a heartbeat, and a chiffon cake made from real egg whites was a rare commodity in the Republic of Present. Due to the lack of available space or time to construct poultry farms, raising chickens in her estate's garden was the kind of precious luxury only the daughter of the Penrose family, formerly a noble house, could afford. However, okay, so that's it for tonight. So again, that's it, guys. I will stay once again. There'll be another light novel stream tomorrow. Let me know in the comment section whether you want other light novels to read, okay? Again, next time I'm gonna make it more ASMR-ish, so please don't judge me, criticize me. Well, you can have criticism, just constructive criticism. Don't be rude about it. You can give pointers. I'ma just be honest right now and say I am not a ASMR person or anything. I'm gonna do my best. The point of it is to make reading light novels a bit more entertaining, because all you have is a book, text, some illustration, and me reading. I'm trying to make it as engaging or as entertaining as possible for everyone. So I'm gonna do that next stream. So that would be tomorrow. Um, Hopefully you guys enjoyed the camp version of this stream. Not sure if you would like to see this again in the future, this whole campfire feel. If you do, let me know. If you don't care for it, or you rather have something else, let it also be known in the comment section down below or in the chat. So you're done, make sure you title this part 2. I'm not titling this by parts, because otherwise it'll be I'm titling it by episode. So basically the title of this episode is called 86 Light Novel Volume 1 Episode 2. So I'm doing all this by episodes. I feel like that's just easier, because by part, if we go it by parts, there's gonna be like what, like maybe like 20 something parts. You know what I mean? For me, it just feels better titling it by episode rather than parts. Let me know, and again, feel free to give criticism regarding stream, how I did this reading. If you have any advice on what you would like to see when it comes to light novel reading, please let it be known in the comment section down below. Again, don't be rude. You can criticize as long as it's fair. You mean by chapter? Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I haven't even went through chapter 1. Yeah, see, like, there is chapters in this book. Hold up. I don't know why I'm showing it up here. Move this off to the side. Ouch. This is burning my hand. Ouch. Not really. Don't worry. I'm fine. So, see, there is chapters. I'm pretty sure I'm not even in chapter 2. Or maybe I will be soon. Oh, wow. Ha! Ha! That's funny. Look. If I did 2 more pages, that's basically chapter 2. Is it considered chapter 1 part 2? You know what? I could do it like that. I guess I could do it like that, like chapter 1 part 2, chapter 2 part 1 part. I mean, I could do it like that. I could do it like that. That's fine. Okay. If that's the case, shit, I didn't know I had a ruler on it. I didn't know I had one. So yeah. Sure. If that's the case, fine. I'm willing to title it chapter 1 part something. I guess that works. I'm on something else I want to show. Again, there'll be another light novel reading tomorrow. It could be 86, so we can continue, probably get into chapter 2, and so on and so forth. But I also got these options. Give me a second. Yes, I got a bunch of books in my hands. So, we either have 86 as an option. Again, you let me know in the chat or in the comment section. I have 86 as an option. I have ReZero, first volume, as another option. I recently got this a few days ago. I have SAO, Volume 1. I can't wait to get into this. So, SAO light novel. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl. I have this one, also as Volume 1 light novel. Again, the Slime light novel. Vivi, there's Vivi. Again, so dark. Can you even see? Yeah, you can see. The other light novels aren't here yet. Don't worry though, they should be here tonight. Shield Hero should come either tonight or tomorrow. What else? I have also the I have a Wild Boss Appeared as a light novel, but I don't have the physical book. I only have it as digitally, because I could not for the life of me find a physical copy. So that one will have to be read online. Again, that will be read online, which is fine. The Ghost Sick one still hasn't arrived yet. It will be coming in like next week, early next week. And then finally, what's the last one? No Game, No Life. So out of all those, you guys let me know which one you're interested in. I showed you variety. So let me know here in the chat. Let me know in the comment section which you prefer. I see you, Blazing Flame. Don't worry. I saw the Shield Hero comment. I don't mind doing Shield Hero. That's perfectly fine. Hopefully it comes in tomorrow though. Because again, some of my shipments are gonna come in a little later. Because I ordered them at the wrong time. But it's okay. But anyway, guys, that's it for this read along. Let me know what you thought. There's gonna be another read along, an hour a day tomorrow. It will be an hour a day. I usually do a read along for light novels an hour or more. We'll see. But it'll be ASMR fashion. So again, I will do my best. You can give criticism as long as you're not an asshole about it. Or give me pointers. If you give me pointers, that'd be fantastic. If someone is actually willing to give me pointers, that'd be great. Put a poll in the community on YouTube. It would only last a day though. Would that be beneficial? Like if it lasted a day? I don't mind doing it. Trust me. I have no problem with it. It's just, how long would it last is the question. Like, it would only last a day at most. But yeah. I'm gonna end this right here though, guys. Thank you for your time once again. But I guess that's fine. I guess I could add a poll. Yeah. You know what? I'll just add a poll sometime tonight on my community tab. Make sure you check it out for those that are interested in the light novel read-alongs. But other than that, that's it for me, guys. See you guys all in the next read. Peace out. Where's my mouse? Yeesh. There's my mouse.